Hi everyone and welcome to my place. By request, here it is, the long-awaited tutorial on designing with cool tonal greys and whites. I've talked about monochromatic and I've talked about achromatic. Monochromatic is shades, tones and tints of a primary colour. By adding white or black or grey, you get the shades, tones and tints, which brings your floral arrangements or your designing to a beautiful level of everything being harmonised and married together and visually not affronting the senses. So I thought, okay, let's just have a talk about it. And there's lots and lots and lots of talk that can be had about this, but I'm going to keep it brief and we'll come back to it. So starting off, so I said black and white and grey, so greys and whites and all those tonal values. So with black, if you add white to it, you get greys, you get hundreds of greys, and that's what I love about working with cool colours. To start with, you need to find yourself a container. I just love the shaped container. I use it all the time, and one day I'm going to grow up and I'm going to branch out and I'm going to get something else. But I just love it for now. I think it just takes your flowers to a whole new level. And the reason being is with the foot and this lovely bulbous shape here, from wherever your flowers rest, you've got this lovely visual space around here, which I absolutely adore, because I see the flower arrangement as the final touch to any room, or it's the finishing for an event, because you don't have not many events you don't have flowers, especially weddings. I just love them. Okay, so what I've done here is, and I've done this before, these are just the transfer rub-ons, white container, and I've just rubbed the motif onto the outside just to break it up, because the white was just a little bit too white for me. And of course we're using blacks and whites with greys, so it's perfect to start off with your container. Tip number one. Right, on this side here, I have some cool greys. I've got a hot, in the eucalyptus here, there's all sorts of tonal greys. Perfect for what we're going to do. I've got a lighter, mistier grey here with the lamb's ear, and it also has this lovely visual texture on the outside, all that downy moldiness about it, which is going to be perfect. So when you bring this and this together, look at the picture. Already something lovely is about to happen. Now, with these two forms, I've also got some pussy willow. Now, it's an even lighter, almost whitey, fluffy, little downy shape. So I've got the leaf shape, I've got of the eucalyptus, I've got the leaf shape of the lamb's ear, and now I've got those little lovely tiny buds at the top, all encased with their nice little wee warm jacket. Now, coming over to the daisies, when I see the pussy willow, I see darken here. When I see the eucalyptus, I see darken there. So, as I've said, you've got to transition and break up those heavy colours. So this here is quite heavy, but when I add that to it, look what it does. It's sort of just like, it's not quite there yet, because you've got this light form, and then you've got this form in here. And even though that form there is close to it, when you put that with it, see how that just all marries everything up? But that wasn't really where I was going. Where I was going with this is, when you see the dark of the pussy willow, then you see the dark of the little daisies. It's just a thinner line, and that just helps to break the harshness of that line up. Okay, so we're over to here. Now, coming over to this side, get rid of this vase, to here. Now we've got the dark line here. We've got the dark in the center of the daisy, the dark of its stem. So we need something a little bit deeper and bigger. So now we have the eye comes in, the eye hits that lotus pod, which is the same tonal value as the pussy willow stem and the daisy, and it matches and connects in with the dark of those lotus pods. Oh, once you get your signpost sorted out, you'll never get lost in the world of designing. Now, if I wanted to, once this is all set up, add some colours, look what I've got over here. I've got some sunflowers. Now, it doesn't match any of this, but when you look closely at the daisy, you'll notice that it's got little wee droplets of artificial pollen, but that doesn't matter. It's got pollen there, and that pollen is the same colour as the colour in the exterior of the dried off sunflower. Now, going back a wee bit further, when you look at the eucalyptus, see the colour in here? That colour there is connected in with there. It's magic how it all happens, and it doesn't matter whether it's artificial or fresh. Just look for the dark colours and the light colours and you'll never go wrong. Now the other thing, but I don't know whether I'm going to use this or not, with the yellow here, if I wanted to incorporate this into this design, don't forget it's cools. See how you've got the two textures and how they all sort of like lend and blend? I don't know that I like that combination, but we'll wait until the end to see what we like. Okay, enough talking. Let's just begin here. I like to start with my heavies first. So I'm just going to bring that down and into there, and I'm going to fold that over. Now, if you're using fresh eucalyptus, might I just suggest that you pick it and then sort of roll it into wet newspaper and turn it over on itself, and you'll get that lovely bending or nice cascading form. Okay, so that can just go into there, and pretty much as I do all the time, I've just gone like a triangle, equal distance between A, B and C with space in between. Doesn't need to be perfect, because guess what? In the botanical world, nothing is perfect. Okay, so I've got all of this pussy willow here, and I've just got this passion to use it all. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to bring that and push that down into there and just let it go whichever way it wants, and then instead of mucking around with just a few stems, just put the whole lot in. Now look what's happening. Your eye's coming up, your eye's looking at the black and white detailing there, and then the eye is cascading over with the gorgeous colours of the mutations of the grey, and then it whips up here to the pussy willow. Don't try and make these all neat and tidy, because when you see the pussy willow on the tree come the spring, it's just all over the place. So don't even, knock yourself out. Okay, so the next thing I want to put into here are going to be these daisies, and I'm just going to push. I'll have to look my way first because I can see where I'm going. Okay, that, can go, oh no, we won't do that. That can go over to the side. I will spray it out. I wasn't going to, but I will now. Because like when I do these designs, I sort of kind of know where I'm going, but sometimes I sort of don't. So what I've done is I've got a few over this side and a few over this side. I don't want it to be perfect, because this could be beautiful inspiration for the fall if you didn't want to have too much, or you just wanted to lift an area of your interior, your decor, with just a little bit of something. Okay, now the next to go into here is, and you'll notice that I'm not going, okay, I'm going to use all my darks first. You need to get your lights in. You need to get your tall, straight structures. You need to get your drooping down. Okay, with these here, and I forgot to mention also that when you look at these little pods and then look into the center of the daisies, it's the same color. Oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. I love how it all works. Okay, so I'm just going to put these into here. Now, these are what I call something nothings, but they actually have quite a bit to say at the end of the day. They're there, but they're not there, but they just add something else. Look at that into there. See how that's just, it's filled in the space between the pussy willow and the daisies with just a little bit of deep darkness. Right, the next to go in are going to be the lotus, the lotus pods. Now what I'm going to do with those is, because these are so dense and heavy, it's no use putting them to the side. The best place to put those is into what is going to be the focal. Eye comes up, the eye hits those, and it goes clunk, I've landed. But it doesn't stop, because it's got something above it. So it's got this lovely lotus pod, these lovely pods over here, and then you've got the lines over here of the pussy willow, but you've also got that rounded form, and then it's further diffused with the little centers of the daisies. Also, that white daisy comes back down and connects back into your container. Oh, I love how it works. Okay, so I've got a couple over there. I'm just going to bring one more into there. there like so. And with these, all I'm doing is I'm just sort of like stepping them. Just like that. There's a lovely little step down of your lotus pods. Now we come to what we've got to, it needs to just be softened because we've got the white there, which is sort of quite dominant. So now we need to soften it. And to soften it, this is when you can come in here with the gorgeous lamb's ear. And I'm just going to put a couple of bits in there like that, and then I'm going to bring another bit down into there, and then I need to bring a bit over to there, and then I need a bit round and over to, I want it to go into there, and then I've got a nice big bit here, and my base, the back needs a little bit of, So look at that. How is that looking? Hold on, that's not quite to my liking, that bit just right there. But look at that, just greys. Beautiful. Now, if you wanted to bring in another form, as I was saying, I've got this. Now, about now, I have to decide, do I want to put that into there or do I want to leave it out? I would love to bring it into there, but I've got to, my eye tells me that that's going to be too messy putting that into there. So if you're ever at the stage where I am right now, it's about then that you say to yourself, you know what? It's not going to work. You might like to add the sunflowers. And I look at the sunflowers and I think, do I want the sunflowers in here or do I not? About now, I want to say, I don't think I do. But let me just have a wee look and see whether I do. Do I want those in there? Do I or don't I? You know what? I'm going to say, leave it out and just have it as it is, its own stand-alone study in beautiful tonal greys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed sharing it with you and I look forward to seeing you all again another day.